challenges. Today, we stand at the intersection of progress and purpose, gathered here not just to share knowledge, but to inspire actions that empowers women to lead, innovate, and transform the future. At Stella College, founded in 1947, we stand proud of a legacy of fostering inclusivity, integrity, and women empowerment, values that resonate deeply with today's conference theme. Before I begin outlining the objectives of the conference, I would like to draw your attention to some crucial statistics. According to a survey published by the Economics Times on February 21, 2025, only 11.24% of higher education institutions in India are headed by women. The study covered 1,352 institutions, including IITs, IIMs, central, state, private, deemed universities, and institutions of national importance, revealing that only 152 had a women leader. Also, according to the United Nations, 17 Sustainable Development Goals, Goal number 5 focuses on achieving gender equality and empowering all women and girls. Hence, there is a huge need to empower with education, make them financially independent, train them with necessary leadership qualities. Recognizing this gap, our department in action has taken this challenge seriously and initiated a small step towards bridging it through empowerment, promoting diversity, and practicing inclusivity. But definitely, I have to place the record of a land, Tamil Nadu, is blessed with many women initiatives, programs, and schemes which makes our stand states the best. Now, I would like to highlight our conference objectives, highlighting the growing impact of women leaders across sectors, exploring opportunities and challenges in their leadership journeys, promoting mentorship, networking, and inclusive policies to empower them, and encouraging organizations to adopt DEI, that is diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is access for all. It's time to highlight the structure of the conference, which is designed to provide diverse perspectives through an engaging mix of sessions. Inaugural session featuring Mrs. Kollywood Member of Parliament and DMK Deputy General Secretary as a Chief Guest of Honor. A respected leader and passionate advocate for women's rights and social justice, and our president underscores the importance of empowering women in leadership roles and fostering inclusive growth. We are equally honored to have Dr. Kala Vijaykumar, Pro-Chancellor of SMU and President of SSN Institutions, as a chief guest. A visionary educationist and a champion of academic excellence, our contributions to higher education have empowered countless women to rise to leadership roles through knowledge and innovation. Followed by the technical sessions, Session 1, addresses by Ms. Madhampati Aishwarya, a visionary culinary expert and CEO. Her journey exemplifies creativity, leadership, and breaking stereotypes in a male-dominated industry. Session 2, a dynamic female panel moderated by a male leader on women leading the way, challenges, triumphs, and the road ahead. We are honored to spotlight Dr. K. Raghavi Senthilkumar, Director, Founder of the Headway Academy and Foundation, as a panel member whose inspiring journey as a differently abled leader exemplifies resilience and determination. Dr. Raghavi will show a thorough sense of inspiration to our students. We also have Ms. Tulasumati Murugesan, an inspiring badminton para-Olympian and a proud Arjuna awardee, as a panelist whose remarkable journey reflects courage, dedication, and breaking barriers in the world of sports. Our third panelist, Dr. Akshaya Prasad, Principal of MOP Vaishnav College, is recognized for a visionary leadership in academia and known for driving innovation and fostering academic excellence. Dr. Neena Gayatri, co-founder and COO of AC Innovation Private Limited, Singapore, is a fourth panelist driving global collaboration and women's entrepreneurship. The moderator for the panel, Mr. Ravindran, CEO of Lexilius C-Suite Coach and Governance and Sustainability Advisor, a strong activist for inclusive leadership in corporate governance. Session 3, Fireside Chat, an engaging dialogue with Ms. Sundari, an inspiring entrepreneur and founder of proudly known as Sundari Akkakare, whose journey from humble beginnings through entrepreneurial success exemplifies willpower and strength. Her work highlights the power of grassroots leader and community-driven growth. Ms. Sundari will be interviewed by a third-year BBA student, Ms. Nitanya, as we believe the way of storytelling will definitely create an impact to the minds of our students. Session 4, a forward male-thinking panel, moderated by a female leader on allyship in leadership, the role of men in championing gender diversity. The panel members featuring Dr. Karthikeyan Soundarajan, Senior Manager at Accenture, renowned for his expertise in driving organizational transformation and fostering inclusive leadership. Mr. Ramana Balaji, Creative Director and founder of Rack Academy of Dance, is renowned for his commitment to fostering gender inclusivity and empowering women in the performing arts. Chef Kaushik, popularly known as the Mad Chef India, a passionate advocate for gender equality in the culinary world, who has mentored and empowered numerous women chefs. Dr. Kanimozhi, Professor and Director at Sri Sairam Institute of Management Studies, is a distinguished academic leader known for his contributions of business education and research. The panel will be moderated by Dr. Merlin Shaila, Dean of Research and Development at Laila College, Chennai, a distinguished women leader in academia. She has been pivotal in fostering leadership opportunities for women researchers and scholars. For the session 5, we have Dr. Esther Epsiba, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration, Madras Christian College, Chennai, as the session chair for the technical session on various dimensions of research. This will be followed by the valedictory session featuring Ms. Gayatri and Mr. Pushkar, much admired writers, directors and creators as the chief guests. Through their creative leadership, they have inspired a new way of storytelling that highlights women's voices and encourages broader societal shifts towards gender inclusivity. Ms. Divya Kumar, AGM, HR at Murugappa Group, is a dynamic human resource leader. Her leadership has significantly contributed to creating inclusive workplaces. As we strive for a meaningful progress and transformative change, it's important to acknowledge the foundation that we have built. Building on the success of the last year's conference themed Embracing Innovation, Change and Digital Transformation through Sustainable Practices, we are proudly reflect on our commitment to environmental sustainability through impactful initiatives ranging from eliminating single-use plastics and introducing unique sustainable registration kits with plantable pens to planting 250 saplings, reinforcing our dedication to eco-friendly practices and environmental responsibilities. These efforts not only created a meaningful impact, but also inspired us to continue integrating sustainability into all aspects of our initiatives. As we navigate today's session, let us remember that leadership is not just about holding positions of power or title. It's about being human, treating the same as they wanted to be treated, driving change, breaking barriers, and empowering those around them. This conference is more than a discussion. It is a collaborative effort to shape a future where leadership is inclusive, equitable, and transformative. Thank you, and may today's discussion inspire meaningful actions and lasting change.
Thank you, ma'am, for the elaborate overview. request the dignitaries on the stage to release the proceedings of our national conference, Women in Leadership, Opportunities and Challenges. Request our esteemed guest, Ms. Kollywood Cinema, to present the Recognition Award for Young Achiever to Ms. News18 Paralympic Silver Medal winner and Arjuna Awardee in honor of her outstanding achievements in badminton. Pro-Chancellor of Chennai University and President of SSN Institutions.
Good morning, everyone. It's an absolute privilege to meet and introduce this inspiring leader and educationalist and additional Dr. Kollywood, who is the president of SSN Institution and Pro-Vice Chancellor of University, Chennai. She has played a key role in managing SSN institutions in Chennai since its inception in 1996. With a keen interest in inclusive education, she has elevated SSN to an institution of international repute. Under her leadership, SSN has focused on promoting the holistic development of all its students. Today, SSN is ranked 46th at the All India level as per the NIRF released to the Ministry of Education. Notably, SSN is the only affiliated college in India to feature in the top 50 and was the first higher education institution to be certified with a platinum certificate by the Indian Green Building Council. MAN was instrumental in establishing a special scholarship scheme to benefit the rural students. She is also the founder of Srinagar University, Chennai. She has played a pivotal role in foreign unique collaborations with world-renowned universities such as Carnegie Mellon University, USA, and global top engineering institutions. Her research focuses on bridging economic inequality in India by making higher education accessible to rural first-generation learners. To every student present here, there is a special note. Kalana is an alumnus of Stella College. And now I have been recognized with a distinguished alumnus award from our college. We are truly honored to have you with us today, ma'am. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Kanimozhi.
Thank you for the warm welcome. Distinguished Chief Guest Kanimozhi and Dr. Stella, Dr. Judith Anita Gonzalez and Ms. Yamini and other distinguished members on the dais, delegates, faculty and my dear students. It gives me great pleasure to be here at Stella College, my alma mater, and to be here for addressing very relevant societal issues, women in leadership, opportunities and challenges. And I thank Stella and the Department of Business Administration for conducting this the topic which is very relevant in today's world. And it gives me additional joy to share the stage with Srimati Kanimozhi, who was my junior in school. Both of us studied in Church Park. And it really gives me a great pleasure to meet her again. Now, it is often said that the status and the position of women in society is the best way of judging a civilization. Judging a civilization and defines its progress and shortcomings. Now let us consider the scenario in India. The leadership in India women leadership in India has a very long history. We, the current scenario, is anyone, I just throw up a question. Who was the first female teacher in India? Yes, young students, we are all talking about being an academic thing and being teachers. Who was the first female teacher in India? Yeah, I heard the answer there. Good. So, Safibai Pune was the first female teacher in India. And her life itself speaks volumes about the opportunities and challenges that women have in this world. She was born in 1931 and she got married when she was at a young age of 9 years. The opportunities came in the form of her husband, who was a reformist. He taught her to read and write, and she created the first school for girls in India way back in 1948. It was not without challenges because, the society, the challenge came from the society who did not encourage the education of young girls. So whenever she used to go to her school, walk to the school, they used to throw cow dung, stones and rotten eggs at her. She was totally unperturbed. She was determined in her vision and mission,
come to the current situation. Today, the women population in India forms, we form around 48.4% of the total population of India. Almost half of the population of India are women. And in addition, we have the largest women population in the whole world. So this clearly shows that the progress of women in India will define the progress of the entire country. So to start an optimistic note, there are quite a lot of women leaders who have inspired us, who include right from current leaders, right from our President, Srimati Murmu, who is the first tribal president of India, our first Prime Minister, Ms. Indira Gandhi, and Kiran Bedi, the first IPS officer, and in the corporate sector we have Kiran Mazumdar and Roshni Nara Malhotra, and sports we have various sports athletes and Mary Kom, PV Sindhu, whatnot. And this list will not be complete without me mentioning about Tessie Thomas, the Missile Women of India. Missile Women, and she very clearly stated a very simple statement. I work as a scientist and not as a woman. So that clearly shows us that it is the role we play that is important and gender is totally immaterial. And these are the positives. And when we come and look at the current scenario after around 1.5 centuries since the first school was started, more than that, and then more than half a century since the first women graduated. Where are we now? We might expect that across this year we might have reached some form of gender parity. But let us look at the actual scenario. As Ms. Yami mentioned, EduScience has said that in the higher education sector, only 11.24% of the institutions were headed by women. And I'm very proud that Stella College and SSL are part of this 11.24% of the institutions headed by women. And other statistics also shows that women leadership, holding leadership position in the corporate sector is 29%, and on the Fortune 500 companies there are only 10.2% women representation in the top Fortune 500 companies. CEOs only 10.2% women CEOs in the top 500 Fortune companies, and also in any board, our representation, women representation is a meager 80.3%. That has increased. So though we are progressing, we can easily see there is a huge gap which we have to bridge. There are various government schemes to promote this, but I'd say that looking at the challenges that we encounter, I would say that there are 3 major challenges. First main thing is sub-bias and stereotyping. See, the stereotyping, it is always a perception that the leadership role should be dominated by the men. And stereotyping, many parents don't even set on the girls' students. I have had a lot of experience. I've seen real life experiences because, as it was introduced, they mentioned we have a scheme for encouraging rural students, total scholarship scheme for encouraging rural students to come and pursue the engineering education. And I see so many parents sitting there and saying, oh no, we don't want to send our daughter over there, it's a waste investing in her. In fact, could manage the chores some other way. And today, that girl is in a senior position, and not only that, she is supporting the education of her brother's children. So, the children, when you invest on women, it has a spiraling effect. There are so many such stories. Till now, SSN has given around 95 crore scholarship for the benefit of 10,000 such students who are, majority of them are women, for educating these people and creating an inclusive society. And the second important thing is, important challenge that the women face is workplace inequality. The CFL Institute has released a study which says that the pay parity increases as women go up the ladder. And finally, at leadership positions, the pay parity, the women gets paid, on average, the women gets paid half of her male counterpart. So they are in the same role, same scope they have, but in spite of that, there is a disparity in the amount, the salary package of the women and men. This gap has to be bridged because they are doing the same job. And the third most important obstacle that women might face is balancing the professional and private life, the professional and their personal life. This is one of the major challenges because the society believes that the household chores, domestic thing, there should be a more participation from the women. In the current scenario, that problem is really true because I'm sure all the married women over here will accept that, when a child comes home, the thing he'll ask is, there are a lot of questions he'll have for the mother. Mommy, where is my book? Where are my books? What food have you made? And where is my pencil box? So many, where are my shoes? So many things. And the only question invariably that the child will ask the father is, Daddy, where is mommy? So, in the society, the women holds a lot more responsibility. So that again, the women have to work that extra mile to reach the leadership positions. These are some of the difficulties that women face these are the difficulties and challenges that women face in this world to lead the leadership positions. And so I'd like all of us to get together and work towards, because networking and working towards the women empowerment and encouraging women in the leadership position is a joint effort of the entire society. And with these words, young students and young faculty, I'd like to tell you, take the bold step and just keep going forward, grab every opportunity available to you, and do not be scared to lead. You will be the leaders of tomorrow, the young women over here. And while I thank the department and the faculty of the Department of Business Administration for inviting me for this, I would also like to see many women leaders emerge from this crowd in future. You are going to shape the future of India. And I wish you all the best, and I wish this conference all success, and thank you.
Ma'am, we sincerely appreciate your gracious taking the time to share your valuable experience with us. Your words have left a lasting impact, inspiring us to reflect, learn, and strive for greater excellence. I now invite Ms. R.T. Infanta, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration, to introduce our distinguished guest, Ms. Kanimozhi, Member of Parliament and DMK Deputy General Secretary.
Good morning, esteemed dignitaries, faculty members, and dear students. As an organizing secretary of the National Conference, it is with great pride and honor that I stand before you to introduce our trailblazer, a voice of empowerment, and an inspiration to aspiring leaders, our esteemed guest of honor, Ms. Kanimozhi Karunanidhi, Member of Parliament, Toothukudi Constituency. A poet, journalist, and a fearless politician, Ms. Kanimozhi has carved a niche for herself in Indian politics with her true commitment to social justice, women's empowerment, and social change. With a deep love for the language and literature, she has used the power of words both in her poetry and in Parliament to advocate for the voiceless and challenge the status quo. Her literary works include Karuvarai Vasanai, Agathinai, Parvaigal, Karukkum Marudani, Siradugalil Uraigirathu Kalam. Her journey in public life has been marked by bold leadership, articulate advocacy, and a relentless pursuit of justice. As a two-term Rajya Sabha member and currently serving in the Lok Sabha, she has been a strong voice in the Parliament, known for a sharp presence of mind and incisive replies. Whether it's standing up for women's rights, the right to education, fisher folks' concern, or environmental sustainability. She has time and again proved that leadership is all about action, courage, and commitment. Her quick-witted responses in Parliament reflect not just intelligence but also an unshakable resolve to fight for the people she represents. When challenged, she does not back down, she responds with facts, conviction, and a clarity that commands attention. Her support for women's reservation, her fight against gender-biased violence, and a push for reforms like criminalizing marital rape and abolishing the death penalty show her dedication to creating a just society. Beyond politics, Ms. Kanimozhi is a change maker in action, organizing job fairs that have provided employment to thousands, launching leadership workshops for women, reviving Tamil folk art through Chennai Sangamam, and advocating for the rights of marginalized communities, including third gender individuals and differently abled citizens. What I personally admire the most about Ms. Kanimozhi, Member of Parliament, is her humility, her calm and composed demeanor, and her remarkable presence of mind in Parliament, where her sharp and articulate replies command respect and admiration. Her journey proves that leadership is not about waiting for change, but making it happen. Today, as we gather to discuss women in leadership, opportunities and challenges, we could not have asked for a more fitting role model to inspire us. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great privilege to welcome Ms. Kanimozhi Karunanidhi, Member of the Parliament, DMK Deputy Secretary, a leader, a reformer, and a true champion of empowerment. Let's give her a huge round of applause. Welcome, ma'am.
Vanakkam. I'm really honored to be here in this great institution and among the BBA students who have organized this amazing program, Women in Leadership, Opportunities and Challenges. Thank you for having me here. And it's a privilege to be sharing the stage with the principal, Dr. Sister Stella Mary, Dr. Kala Vijay Kumar, Pro-Chancellor of SNU and President of SSN Institutions, Sister Judith Anita Gonzalez, Ms. Yamini, Head of Department of Business Administration, and Dr. Deepa, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration, Dr. Renuka Devi, Assistant Professor, and Assistant Professor of Business Administration, Ms. Aarti Infanta, who had a very long introduction for me, and thank you for that, and I'll definitely try to live up to be the person you introduced me as. And it was a great privilege and pleasure meeting Tulassimati Murugesan, the amazing, resilient sportswoman of this country. It was a great proud moment for me. And thank you, the students of Stella and my special thanks to Ms. Swati, who reached out and invited me to this program. Women in leadership opportunities and challenges. I think it is a very, very relevant topic today, and because women are breaking barriers. Women no longer see the glass ceiling. We don't believe there are any more glass ceilings to break. So we have challenges and we have to look at the opportunities in front of us. It would be a lie to say that there are no challenges, everything has changed. In Parliament today, we have only 13% women representing this country. So the challenges are real. And every sector, I think it was mentioned here by Dr. Kala and others, that in leadership roles, whether it is running institutions or corporate companies, being judges, being in sports, it is a challenge to be a woman. I remember something which I read long ago. This dark-skinned person in a European country, he parks his car in a differently abled parking space. And somebody comes up to him and says, "So this is not the space for you. It's for a differently abled person." He says, "Can't you see? Can't you look at my skin color and you think I'm not disabled?" So that is how the world treated Indians or people from Africa, and still do. But being a woman is not an easy thing. You are born and you are taught to believe that you are inferior. Your parents believe you're inferior. The society believes that you are less than somebody because you are a woman. Your education, your freedom, your rights, everything is second to somebody else. Your work is recognized much less compared to somebody else. Your intelligence is rated much less compared to somebody else. Recently, when the Chief Minister of Delhi was selected, after the elections were over and of course there were deliberations within the party, and they selected a woman as a Chief Minister of Delhi. And a fellow member of Parliament, immediately the remark I heard from him was, mentioned another name who could have also become the Chief Minister, and said he lost out because he was a man. I immediately asked him, so why didn't you say that all these women leaders, and I had a list which I think is inappropriate to be mentioning here. He said, why didn't it even bother you that when all these women lost out because they were women? It did not bother anybody. But just when a woman, after so much of hard work, becomes the Chief Minister of the state, you say she is there only because she is a woman and it was reserved for her. So this is the way
the world perceives us. This is the way the world looks at us. But has things changed? Yes, it has. But the first conflict, the first hurdle which we have to cross is one, the society in which we live in, our families. Because they don't intend any harm to us. They want to protect us. They want to make sure that nothing hurts us. But living in an incubated space, living in a sterile zone which they create for us, is not a life which you want to live, or I think it is not a life which allows you to be creative, allows you to reinvent yourself, allows you to make any change in this world. So we have to learn to break out of this sterile zones. We have to learn to have the confidence that we will go across, we will break the barriers. Barriers are not built out of stone or mortar or iron or anything. It is sometimes built out of love, affection, family bonds. And these are the bonds, these are the shackles which are very, very, very difficult to break. But yet, I think it is a duty of every woman to break from this, break free from this. And the next biggest hurdle is we are not made to believe that we deserve what we get. Every time, I'm sure many of them on stage, and sometimes including me, I'm ashamed to say that. But when you are given a position, when you are elevated, when you are given an opportunity, the first question which comes to our mind is, will we be able to rise up to this challenge? Do I deserve this? I think we should stop this question in our minds, because every one of you here deserve this and much more, and you are capable of the change, and you are the change. For generations, women who've stayed at home have been made to believe that they are not leaders. They haven't done anything to change society. But actually they've been running a total, complete economy. Without our mothers, our grandmothers, I don't think families could have been held together. I don't think the family's economics, the income, could have been protected, could have been saved, could have been passed on to the next generations. But we never took credit. We never understood how much of economics we understood, how much of leadership it required, how much of networking it needed, how much of being able to understand nuances, human emotions it needed to run a family. Today we just have to, you have all that inherited intelligence. You just have to apply it to a larger scale. Women understand. I mean, the world can go on without women leaders, without women participation. Today, in India, in the workforce, women's participation is falling. But of course, in Tamil Nadu, we can proudly say that 42% of the working population of this country comes from one single state, Tamil Nadu. And I think it is thanks to leaders like Periyar. He was one great visionary. I think every girl here has to read Periyar. It is a request, a recommendation, because he was one leader who did not hesitate, who did not say, women's right this far and no further. Never. He said, to achieve your dreams, to reach where you want to, break every hurdle, break everything, nothing matters. Your dream is what is important, and reaching there is the only thing which is important. Never said you have responsibilities at home, you have domestic responsibilities. He never spoke about all that. like many of my friends here there are many journalists here. One of the most important questions for them when I have interviews with them is if I know to cook. I've never understood why it bothers them so much that I'm not going to go cook for them. So why does it actually make so much difference to them if a woman leader can cook or not? I'm really happy and thank their good luck or whatever it is that they did not ask the Chief Minister of the Tamil Nadu, who was our ex-Chief Minister Jayalalitha, the same question. I really don't know what she would have done. But that is a question they have to ask any women leader. You can run a corporate company, you can head a nation, but still they'll come and ask you, how do you balance work and family? How do you, do you find time to cook? Do you find time to take care of your children? Do you find time to take care of your families? I've never ever heard anybody asking such questions to my father. They're very happy if he didn't even know that which class his children studied in. He was not a father like that, thank God, but still. It didn't matter to them. Nobody believes that a man needs a balance. And Thandai Periyar was one leader who did not insist on this so-called balance. He believed that we have to go ahead and reach our dreams, achieve our dreams. So, to do that, I think first is believing in yourself, rethinking, reinventing, and believing and building that confidence. And I think, as it was mentioned, networking. What we do, your friends here in college, the minute you step out, at the most, we keep in touch with one or two friends. And after that, it's a completely new world you build again, depending on wherever you are, whatever is comfortable for people around you. I think this is something which every woman leader here has to understand. Keep in touch, help each other, reach out to each other, reach out to your friends, build networks to support each other. That is the basis of any business, any industry, any progress. So this is something which all women have to learn, that we have to keep in touch and be there for each other. And again, I'd like to say, believe in yourselves. There is nothing that you cannot achieve, and there is nothing in this world which you do not deserve. This is something I think every day you'll have to think about and believe that you deserve to be where you are. It is not your brother, it is not your uncle, it is not your husband, it is not your father who has to be there. It has to be you who has to be there to make sure that you are an inspiration to future generations and also make this world into a more safer space for women. Unless we have more women leaders, unless we have more women leading different sectors, this world is not going to become a safer space, because men are not going, they can have the best of intentions. I cannot say that they don't have intentions to see change, but only a woman can understand the challenges, the abuses which we face day in and day out. And only a woman leader can make that space into a safer space for the rest of the women who come in. Because there are challenges every day. 50 years ago, it was physical challenges. But today, we have an entire world of cyberspace. We have challenges there. We are being abused there. And tomorrow, technology is not going to stop. It's just going to keep progressing. And the challenges there are going to be completely different and new. So we have to prepare ourselves to face those challenges. And yes, the most important thing which I'd like to share is the biggest weapon society uses against women in public spaces, in life, in who want to actually break whatever space has been allocated to them and come out of it, step out of it and make a change. It's personal assassination, character assassination, slander. Sometimes people ask me, how do you face it? It's two things. Who do I have to prove who I am? It is only me. And maybe people very close to me who might get affected. And who are these people who are actually abusing us? When you think about them, do they even have the right or the character integrity to be challenging anybody's character? When you actually look at those people, you will only laugh to yourself. It sounds like a bad joke. So it is within you whether you want to yield to that slander, to that assassination, or rise ahead, go above that and say, my work will speak for itself and I do not have to waste time answering on this. Then again, it is within you because you have to believe who you are to make that change, to break all the barriers. It is within you guys to go forth and lead this world because this world deserves more leaders like you. This world has to learn to be inclusive and welcome more women in every space possible to make it a better world, to make it a world which understands both sides. Because you cannot have laws, you cannot have one-sided world vision. It's not going to help anybody. And look what the world has come to, climate change and issues like that, when we always had a one-sided world vision. So we have to ensure that this world is a safe place. We have to ensure that there's more leadership from women, more leaders participating in making sure what this world becomes in future. And all the best to all of you. And it's a great initiative. I'd like to just ask a few questions. What do you think are actually the challenges which women face? What do you, from your perspective, if somebody can tell me that? What do you think is your biggest challenge? Come on, get up and talk. How are you going to lead this world if you don't? See? Please, yes. Pardon? Sexism, yeah. It's not just now, it's always been there. Anybody else? Yeah.
I guess it's partly because because in India, like most of the families protect it. In the name of protecting and keeping the sexuality, they never let us go free. Like they always have a code saying this is not safe, this can't be done because people would look at you this way. So you should be cautious of how people look at you. So yeah, ma'am, I guess that's the biggest issue.
You wanted to say?
So recently I read this article. So in that there's this phrase said that, women are expected to work like they do not have kids at home, and mother that children like they do not have work to do. So this phase especially resonated with me because right now my sister she's a very hardworking interior designer, and she just delivered a kid, and she's going around with her child, like her 8-month-old child, around to her sites. But still people expect, like, why are you taking your daughter to her sites? Is it not safe for her? But how can she leave her work alone in that way also in regard? So that phase really resonated with me.
Anybody else?
They face a lot of gender bias, and it's very unconscious also sometimes. And there's a lot of discrimination against them in the workplaces. And like ma'am mentioned, a lot of stereotypes that women should be like this. But nowadays women are breaking the gender norms and coming forward very bravely. And also one more thing, like you said ma'am, they valued more on their domestic responsibilities rather than for their talent or their skills. That's what I wanted to mention.
Thank you. This is a man's world, we accept it or not. See, this podium, everywhere, when you, even in this college, it is not, made for women to feel comfortable. We need a stool to stand on, to use this podium. It is not custom made for us. It is made for the men. And if a woman wants to use it, she has to use a platform to stand on it and address. So everything is custom made for the male gender in this world. And when you are coming into it, men never had to carry the children, they never had to, take responsibilities. At the most they had to work and earn. And sexism, yes, because they haven't seen us outside the kitchens. So it scares them, it scares people. And of course, parents want to protect us. These barriers are made of love. They want to protect us, they want to keep you safe. So I think what you have said actually, covers everything a woman faces today. You are expected to balance, you are expected to be, a great mother, a great, person who takes care of her family, her house, and also be an amazing career person who, gives 100%. How many 100% do you have to give? But I think this is where I say we need more women leaders. Only a woman could understand it. A man who's seen his sister carrying the child to the workspace would only smirk, or only say how unsafe it is for the child. But only a woman can understand that she cannot leave the child back at home. There's nobody else to take care. And she cannot neglect her work, because if she does, then again, she's lost many years of experience and she's going to become nobody and start again. Only another woman can understand the nuances in sexism. How you're not expected to be there in a space. And I've never seen a stage like this in a political stage where it is full of women. And sometimes only the only woman there, or only it is men on stage. And when there is a woman on stage, it's only, you can see raised eyebrows. So, this is why we need more women leaders, we need women speaking up. So don't ever hesitate. Don't wait for somebody else to speak before you. Be the first. And that is the opportunity you create. And that is the opportunity you create not only for yourself, you are creating the opportunity, you are being the inspiration to so many other women. So, when you take up this challenge, you are opening up opportunities for thousands and thousands and thousands of women all over the world. So be the leaders, be the change, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We extend a heartfelt thanks and deep gratitude for you to share your invaluable insights on leadership. Your words have been truly inspiring, empowering, and guiding force for aspiring leaders. We assure you we'll encourage our students to lead career and build strong networks to reach success in their life. Thank you, ma'am. To express our gratitude to all those who contributed to making this event truly exceptional and memorable, I now invite Dr. Renuka Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration, to deliver the vote of thanks.
A very good morning to one and all present here. It is my privilege and honor to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. First and foremost, I express my sincere gratitude to our guest of honor, Ms. Kanimozhi, Member of Parliament and DMK Deputy General Secretary, for gracing this event with a presence and Thank you, ma'am. A special thanks
Now,